Devin Booker has truly stayed down to help turn around the Phoenix Suns to propel them to heights that they hadn't seen since the 90s. But it also wasn't that long ago where the Suns were a bottom of the barrel team and many were unsure about how a one and done prospect out of Kentucky would truly turn out. The story of Devin Booker's rise to stardom has been a very interesting and enjoyable one to watch unfold. Being born in Grand Rapids, Michigan, Devin would be born to a family full of basketball players. His father, Melvin Booker, played 2 seasons in the NBA with the Rockets, Nuggets, and Warriors, while his mother was a Big 8 Player of the Year as a point guard at Missouri. So from a very young age, Booker was immersed into the game of basketball and learning just what it really took to play at the highest levels. By the time he was in high school, he moved to Mississippi to live with his father and play at Moss Point High School. With his dad as an assistant coach, he would already be averaging 23 points a game as a sophomore. He'd even have a game where he scored 54 points before later being named South Mississippi Player of the Year. As a junior, he switched over to point guard. Even though he averaged 30 points with 8 rebounds and 4 assists a night, his team still struggled to win games and their season would end in the first round of the playoffs to finish 12-16. Being seen as a 5-star prospect and a top player in the country, Booker would announce his decision to commit to the University of Kentucky right before his senior season. Throughout his final year at Moss Point, Booker once again was putting up big performances night in and night out and was eventually able to become his school's all-time career scoring leader, where he averaged 31 points a game that helped lead Moss Point to the 4A South State Finals. Officially starting off his time at Kentucky, Booker's debut was in an exhibition game versus the University of Pikeville, where he scored just 15 points with 2 3-pointers and 3 assists. Across 38 games in the season, Booker averaged 10 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist a night. This was enough for him to be named SEC Sixth Man of the Year and make SEC All-Freshman and All-SEC Second Team as well. And right after the season ended, Booker, along with Andrew and Aaron Harrison, Dakari Johnson, Willie Cauley-Stein, Trey Lyles, and Karl Anthony Towns would all declare for the NBA draft. Being a one-and-done player, scouts liked how good of a shooter he was from mid-range and the 3, along with a very high IQ, good playmaking ability, and an ideal frame for a shooting guard at the next level. There were also concerns about a lack of athleticism, ball handling, and just how well-rounded his game really was. This eventually led to him being taken 13th overall by the Phoenix Suns in the 2015 draft. The Suns thought that he had a ton of potential, and they loved his character, work ethic, and the game he brought. They also thought Kentucky, with all the talent they had, could never really show off what Booker was really capable of. Booker was joining a Suns team who had just gone 39-43 under coach Jeff Hornacek. He'd of course play in the Summer League and make his official NBA debut versus the Dallas Mavericks just days before his 19th birthday. He'd have 14 points on 6 of 7 from the field in a double-digit loss to open the season. The season as a whole will be extremely rough for Phoenix, but Booker showed signs of how great of a scorer he could be. He became one of the youngest players in NBA history to have a 30-point game, averaging 14 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists while shooting 42% from the field and 34% from 3 would get him on the Rising Stars Challenge and also become the youngest to ever be in the 3-point contest. Even though the Suns had a 23-59 record, Booker finished 4th for Rookie of the Year and also made the All-Rookie First Team. He was solidified as the clear future of the franchise. There would be no sophomore slump for Devin Booker at all in year 2. He'd make a clear jump with improvements in scoring, ball handling, and his overall feel for the game. Booker would average 22 points with 3 rebounds and 3 assists with 1 steal. At 20 years old, he had more 30-point games and eventually exploded for 70 points in a game versus the Boston Celtics that the Suns somehow, someway, still managed to lose. And this was of course the highest scoring game for any player since Kobe Bryant's 81 points. With so much scoring ability, the Suns as a team would still lose 58 games under coach Earl Watson. With Booker now entering year 3, he became the 4th youngest player to score 3,000 points just days after turning 21. The scoring would continue to see improvements, but injuries began to rise over the course of the 2018 season. However, Booker would be active right on time to win the 3-point contest and then reach 4,000 points while barely playing over 50 games. It was a no-brainer to lock Booker in for the future. The Suns gave him a 5-year, $158 million max contract extension, along with now pairing number 1 overall pick DeAndre Ayton with him. Booker wouldn't miss as much time in year 4, while averaging 27 points, 4 rebounds, and 7 assists. He'd become the youngest to ever have consecutive 50-point games. He would continue to improve in scoring, but it wouldn't translate to many wins, and after being shut down due to an ankle injury, this Phoenix Suns team finished with just 19 wins at the bottom of the West. The 2020 season saw Booker and the Suns with their 5th new head coach in 5 years, Monty Williams. They instantly saw improvement on both sides of the floor, with Booker leading the way. He'd set a franchise record for most consecutive 30-point games in a row, averaging 27 points, 4 rebounds, and 7 assists while shooting 49% from the field, 35% from 3, and 92% from the free throw. Got Booker his first All-Star selection of his career, and he was also the Suns' first All-Star player since Steve Nash in 2012. With the Suns qualifying for bubble play, Booker helped Phoenix go 8-0, but unfortunately the Suns would still miss the playoffs with a 34-39 record. Adding Chris Paul to the mix, the Suns used the momentum from the bubble to propel them to the playoffs for the first time since 2010. Booker was an all-star once again, averaging 26 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists. The duo of CP3 and Devin Booker were both all-stars just like Nash and Amari Stoudemire were 11 years earlier. Coming in as a 2nd seed in the West, Booker made his playoff debut in Phoenix against the 7th seed Los Angeles Lakers, who were the defending champions. He looked like a veteran, as if the playoffs weren't anything new for him. He opened the series with 34 points to secure the Game 1 victory and continued to average 30 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists throughout. To close the series in Game 6, Booker led the way in LA with 47 points and 11 rebounds with 8 threes for Phoenix to move on to the next round. Despite facing MVP Nikola Jokic in the second round, the Suns would make it look easy. Chris Paul and Devin Booker both averaged 25 a night, and the Suns made quick work of the Nuggets in a sweep. Playing the Los Angeles Clippers in the Western Conference Finals, Booker got his first triple-double with 40 points, 13 rebounds, and 11 assists in Game 1. He'd averaged 26 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists with 1 steal throughout. Big performances from Booker and CP3 led the Phoenix Suns to their first finals appearance since 1993, and this time, they'd faced the Milwaukee Bucks led by Giannis and Chris Middleton. The Suns opened strong with 27 and 31 points from Booker to help give them a 2-0 lead. From there on, however, the tides would change for the worse. Even though Booker had back-to-back 40-point games, it wouldn't be enough to slow down the Bucks' comeback, and Milwaukee would win in 6. Following the loss in the finals, the Suns proved to be a top team in the West once again. After an 18-game win streak to open the season, Booker got his 3rd straight All-Star selection, averaging 27 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and 1 steal, while shooting 47% from the field and 38% from 3. With the Suns securing the 1st seed in the West, Booker also finished being 4th in MVP voting. The Suns saw a Pelicans team that got hot right at the end of the season. They would start off the series right, but Booker getting injured made things much more interesting for the Pelicans. The Suns were able to still get it done in 6 games though. Facing the 4th seed Dallas Mavericks in the second round, Phoenix quickly jumped to a 2-0 lead, but it was clear that they underestimated Luka Doncic in Dallas. The Mavs stormed back to tie the series at 3 apiece, and with poor games from Booker and CP3, Dallas humiliated the Suns and Phoenix to move on. While still being just 25 years old, Devin Booker has already accomplished so much. He went out bad in the 2022 playoffs, yes, but one thing to remember is that it was only just his 2nd time in the postseason. With 7 years under his belt, Booker still has a very long career ahead of him, whether it's in Phoenix or other places in the future. I highly doubt this year is the last time we see him in the playoffs. He should have plenty of time and chances to undo his mistakes and redeem himself on the biggest stages. What do you think? Thank you for watching the video. If you liked the video, like and comment what you think Devin Booker's future holds and how the Suns will look next season. And if you like me, subscribe.